Yeah! It's your boy Gabriel Hodder, Matthew Oman. We are all fight, no fight, primal fear. And you're watching BJ and DG Talk Wrestling. Yeah!
Welcome back, everybody. BJ here, DG there.
What up, what up, what up?
Chef the Rep in the house.
Howdy.
Still Chef the Death down there.
Oh, well, whatever. Not that it matters. Rap death. It all rhymes
All right,
enough.
so to pick up on right before we went live, Kenny Omega now picked up the gummy bears and stuffed them down Matt Jackson's mouth.
Yummy.
For anybody watching Forbidden Door at the moment, while we are also here.
Yes, and as I said right before we went live, most original thing I've seen all week.
Yeah. I wonder how
So,
stale
how
they
was
are.
everybody's week?
Didn't watch as much wrestling as usual. Fell asleep. Didn't see Dynamite.
That's fine. You really didn't miss a whole hell of a lot. There was a couple of moments, but otherwise, you know the routine. It was pretty much all the routine. Yeah, maybe I got spoiled last week at JCW, GCW, but returning to real life, regular wrestling was, well, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, so Forbidden Door currently going. It's been a good show so far. I've been watching it. We have Heatwave later tonight, right after we go off the air.
Yep.
Which we will be doing predictions for as well.
I
can't wait to get to talking about that John Cena Logan Paul segment, which I thought was entertaining. I thought the Extreme Rules match that main event Raw was good. That was Extreme Rules match was Uso and Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and then we also did get this week Naomi's big announcement.
Officially.
Yeah, apparently Big Jim likes to Netflix and chill. And by
anyone else notice that she laid down the championship on top of the Slim Jim thing? Yeah, that's who she lost the belt to.
I mean, we also did have it pretty much confirmed by timeline, that SummerSlam was actually a fatal four-way.
Yeah, Baby Uso already has one championship under its belt.
But to talk about Vacant, Mrs. Vacant in this case, for the first time has become the WWE Women's World Championship. Whatever.
But it won't last forever.
How do we resolve Vacant?
All right. So, since we're kind of there at the moment, we already know Stephanie Bakir has a guaranteed shot at Clash. So, we hold a gauntlet match or a battle royal or something to determine her opponent.
Tournament.
To crown the new champion.
It's not enough time for a real tournament, though, is it?
You could do a tournament.
Hold on. We do a one-night tournament.
Yeah.
So, have 4 women in there and do 2 matches each for the semifinals and finals.
Have Stephanie have a bye, and she'll be the finalist.
No, because she has the guaranteed shot at Clash. So she just automatically gets the Clash in Paris, and this tournament's to determine who goes against her.
Yeah, we're not crowning the champion; we're crowning her opponent to crown the new champion. So
you're right.
Now comes the idea: who gets that opportunity?
All right, so who are the women on the Raw roster? We got Rhea Ripley, number 1 in my mind to get into there.
Io Sky.
Yes, yep.
Roxanne Perez, who's picked up a win over Io. She's picked up a win over Io recently, so she deserves to be.
She's got a claim.
I don't know. They've been doing the tag team thing for a while, and there's no signs that that's slowing down.
That didn't stop it when Liv Morgan was women's champion. Her and Raquel being a tag team still.
Well, being a tag team stories are different. Yeah, I mean Lyra. I don't know. No, I'm not giving her the shout.
Put her in the tournament. At least have her. We're filling out a field of 4 here.
Yeah.
Natalia.
Natalia's been doing some good stuff, but again, she's kind of been almost more focused towards tag side a little bit. But
So
I wouldn't mind her being in the tournament. That'd be fine.
There's been some talk of her maybe possibly debuting a new character soon, her outside of WWE character.
Oh, I would love that because she can be taken she's taken more seriously when she does the outside appearances than how she's been on. Yeah. Maybe
What
I
show
would.
is Bailey on?
Raw.
She's on Raw. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
But also at the moment, it seems like they're doing the thing where they're kind of teasing her heel turn now, which I'm hoping for because of Bailey. Yeah.
I don't know if it's a turn so much as like a character turn. Like I don't know if it will necessarily make her turn heel. Like she goes a little darker, she might still be face.
Tweener.
I mean, I feel like with her, it's always been one side or the other. Hey, for all we know, we could get Hugger Bailey back.
I'd like to see like either schizophrenic Bailey, where she's something different every week and like just is a mess, or
no, because the only reason I disagree with that is I don't want to get into the thing of Bailey, get into that conversation of Bailey and the Wyatts. Because now we're going to be playing something a little too similar to where that could get plugged into that at some
separate shows.
You can do that without making it similar.
They're
in separate shows too, so
no, but it becomes the fan spectrum. Yeah, I mean, but eventually at some point, if let's say she has that and switches shows and they end up on the same show or whatever, you're going to start playing with almost the same style of something because Uncle Howdy essentially is schizophrenic of being Bo Downs, and we've seen both characters simultaneously.
So what was your other thing going to be there, BJ?
I don't know. Yeah, just playing on that one. I mean, you could do it in a way where it doesn't seem reminiscent of the Wyatts and like people don't associate it with the Wyatts thing. Like she could one day come out as Hugger and then mid-match turn into like heel Bailey, and then mid-match turn into like the role model.
It could be a whole new variation of the character as well. Like we could just see something that's not.
He's got it.
He's freezing, but I remember. Complete like rogue, like oblivious to the motives. Like her motives don't make sense. Just like a rogue Bailey, not like the Marvel character, but yeah.
Although Rogue Bailey could be fun. AEW Well, you're not 30 minutes late though, so you're good.
Okay, is he unfrozen? Yes.
Yes.
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, I could see. I would like that. Just her coming out and just interfering in matches for seemingly no reason, beating people up.
Yeah. Yeah, but then she'll reveal a reason for all that just because that's, there's got to be a reason eventually. And, the bad guys in wrestling always tell the reason eventually.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like, I can't stand you, blah.
Whatever this plays out from at this point, I think plays into a feud with Lyra right away.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because that's the launching point of it. That's where this schism has begun. And just real quick, because I did bring up the Wyatts, today is the 2-year anniversary of Bray Wyatt's death.
Oh, okay.
I was just around this time, I was just getting off an airplane in Florida when I found out.
How about that?
But yeah, anyway, back to this. Who do we put at? Well, instead of a tournament, let's just say who is the opponent for Stephanie Bakir?
Yeah.
You say Rhea?
Yeah.
You say EO? I think I say Rhea. I'd like to see Stephanie versus Rhea. I wouldn't mind seeing her against Io either, but I think Rhea is the more intense matchup.
Or these are for the triple threat.
Do we really need another
don't-
triple threat with Rhea and Io though?
So I wouldn't mind Io, but I think however they play this out, let's just say Monday night they do the match to determine it so they can start building.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they've been teasing an Asuka heel turn. And
No.
I think Asuka and Kyrie could both turn on Io.
And that's how Rhea finally beats Io.
If it's Rhea. Like for all we know, this could be
if we have a four-woman tournament and the final winds up being Rhea Io, and then they screw Io over, and then there you go, Rhea finally beats Io.
But they could also turn. But they could also turn around and go after Rhea because it seems like there's been a little bit of issue with the fact that Rhea has been sticking her nose in their business.
I'd mentioned this last week, but apparently my sources indicate that Asuka will be turning heel, but not necessarily Kyrie.
Yeah, Kyrie's a lot more conflicted about it. She's definitely got that look on her face like, I love you, Io, but I have to follow Asuka because she's the big sister, like type of look. So, yeah, she's definitely the more conflicted one. Don't know which side she's going to wind up on once all this shakes out.
Darby Allin right now, by the way, is a bloody mess. Like, the whole side of his face is just destroyed at the moment.
Okay, it sounds pretty mild for Darby, actually.
Yeah. Oh, we got a barbed wire table. We saw barbed wire doors, not tables.
We saw barbed wire trampoline too. That was fun.
But yeah, I think the most basic idea might be a fatal 4-way. So okay. probably Rhea, Io, and I still say Roxanne Perez. She has a win over Io. That kind of puts her in that spot, and Roxanne's going to be the future, so you might as well give her the reps with some of the top stars now so that she can learn and be better off in the long run. I mean, even to a point, I could see Roxanne winning that match. Like, I could Roxanne versus Stephanie Bakir, two of the top stars from NXT, now moving on to Clash at Paris to crown a new women's world champion.
I could see it, but I think the Rhea match is better. Just personally. I feel like if you're going to be doing this marquee event over in Paris, then you want a marquee matchup, and the more marquee matchup is Stephanie Rhea. No question.
Now I propose this. If Stephanie Bakir, regardless, is earmarked to win the title, let's say she was meant to defeat Naomi and win the championship. That has been written in stone. Why would you do Rhea or Io now to where you can hold that off and get them in bigger matches on a bigger stage down the line?
Because you're going to Paris and you want the marquee matchup you can put in front of that audience. That's the only reason.
Is there any women that would make sense to maybe be in that spot from Europe?
No, you've got Stephanie and
between any the cherry pick SmackDown if you have to, cherry pick NXT if you have to.
I am, and there's not.
I just don't see Rhea and Stephanie being, unless there was a champion already crowned, and that they could do that as well. Hey, we'll crown a new champion. Stephanie Bakir gets that first shot, but that could alter anything going forward if they already had, like I said, the Bakir win planned. I just feel like, and also you can hold off and do Stephanie Bakir versus Rhea in Australia at Perth because we're not far off from that.
I got it. She's from the UK. She's a huge draw. Piper Niven.
Actually, no. Hey, you know what? I can back that up with a case considering Piper Niven just pinned Charlotte Flair in one-on-one action this past week.
That's what I'm saying, man. She's got momentum.
Yeah, but
that would put Stephanie.
Plus, that was in a tag division singles match, though. That was like, you've got the We're Not Friends tag team that was represented by Charlotte, got the Secret Service that was represented by Piper. So that was actually a tag team match with just single competitors in it.
You're right. But at the same time, she just pinned the most decorated women's champion in WWE history.
Fair.
And that's where
we
I
both
can
make valid points.
Yeah, that's where I stopped the case there, because there's not much more ammo on either side for us.
No,
but
there's really not.
Her, I mean, to have her in that opportunity, you would be putting Stephanie Bakir almost behind the 8 ball, having to deal with Alba Fire and Chelsea Green in that match. So you would be, there would be something there behind that.
Maybe.
Fine, maybe.
Yeah, and Piper Niven doesn't have to win. She just has to make sure Stephanie looks good in the match, because there's a bigger story. And you can even have Charlotte come out and cost her the match, continuing that storyline.
Besides
but
Piper,
again, you've got.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, you do have the women's titles involved in this whole storyline, though, so you can't convolute it that much. Yeah, I'm looking at the TKO playbook and what they call, and I see Stephanie Rhea.
I'm not against it. I just think it's too soon to pull the trigger on that, when you could pull the trigger for that in Australia at first.
I don't disagree, but I'm looking at the TKO playbook and how they're doing everything recently, and that's the only thing that is in their, like, 1A section there.
Because I still think there's a point that we still have to get resolution to Rhea Io at some point down the line, which could be a lead into that Perth match at some point.
Yeah.
Even though it's still kind of far away, it's just the general idea of how many people that they could step up into that spot. It's just getting there is the problem of who's the one we choose.
Another one from Europe on this match roster, not doing much right now. Nikki Cross.
Yeah, Wyatt 6.
But by my count, there are 4 women from Europe on SmackDown and Raw: Becky, Alba, Piper, and Nikki Cross. That's all.
Lyra Valkyria.
Or sorry, 5. But see, I just think Becky.
Is Alba Fire from Europe too?
I said Alba.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, she's from Ireland.
So sorry, yeah, 5. Everyone else is from Japan or North America or South America. That one from South America.
So if I have to pick one of those European women, I'm picking Lyra to be in that tournament.
You know what? That I wouldn't mind that match. Lyra versus
Stephanie. Yeah,
and that's how you bring Bayley back in front of the fans and cost Lyra the match. And if you were going to do a turn or start this conflicted character, that's the perfect spot. Stephanie Bakir wins the championship, and now we have a whole new lookout at that division.
Yeah,
with Stephanie Bakir at the head of that division.
Book it. I like what we just came up with. Book it.
I like Piper or Nikki for that spot.
Okay.
Lyra's probably the better draw.
Oh yeah, by far.
I mean, at the moment, yes. But I would say if for whatever reason it was Piper, then you also have Chelsea Green there, who has been a huge draw. Yeah. And would actually bring some eyes to it still.
That is Chelsea, so that's what she does.
Yeah, but I also think at the same time, at this point, a lot of us fans have probably had it in our heads that this is going to be Stephanie's moment.
Yeah. Stephanie is definitely got that feel like she is destined for this championship, especially after Naomi just laid the belt down. So, and I think Stephanie could definitely give this belt a good run with it. She could definitely build herself up through the belt, through some nice defenses of it. And I think that she would it's the newer of the 2 belts, so she could help establish the legacy of the belt at the same time.
Yeah. And like I said, and we still can get her and Rhea at Perth, which will be fine. We can get her and Io at some point in the meantime. there's a lot of potential, especially with call-ups that were probably going to happen in the next couple months.
Also, remember,
There's a lot of potential.
Stephanie also isn't as young as most of the other ladies on the roster, so they're probably going to have her. If they do strap the belt to her, they're probably going to strap a rocket to her and have her, just run through the roster.
Yeah.
I mean, I
She is
also
in her
look at
30s, but
even with age now, though, it's kind of like back at, especially when we were all younger, we see guys get in their early 30s and we'd be like, all right, they're hitting the end of their prime. And that's across all sports. Now we see guys in their mid 30s and they're still playing like they're in their late 20s. Like, well, okay.
It's different. I mean, you look at the average retirement age for WWE women's superstars, and it's way lower. It's
Well, that's because they make more money on OnlyFans. Oops, did I say that out loud?
But you know what I mean. There's
But
only
that's
so
also
many.
because they get other opportunities. But let's look at a lot of the older ones. Like Trish probably retired before she had to, but she had other things to focus on. Like a lot of these other ones had brands that they were already building in the process. The Bellas, as an example, right?
Right.
See, I think the Bellas retired too late, personally.
Yeah.
AJ Lee definitely retired.
How
way
did
too
they
early.
set up 4 tables? They did have 4 tables as a double stack outside this cage. So, all right.
Tables.
Yep, somebody's going through those Undertaker style from the top of that cage.
This is probably be going on when we're getting off air. This match is still going to be happening.
Yeah, at this rate, seriously.
Well, they're trying to counter program against Heatwave.
I like how we're bridging the gap today.
Yes. There is no more gap. The gap is gone. It's been imploded. No, there's no disappointment in that. Sure.
Well, speaking of Rick Blade, real quick,
Yes.
Last week, we really did not have much to announce, but now an update on the PWU return. It will no longer be in Philly. It is now at the Pro Wrestling Star Academy itself, Saturday, September 20th, 22 King Street, Mount Holly, New Jersey.
Home turf of the Danger Ginger crew.
Yes, 6 o'clock bell time. Doors open at 5:30.
We will all be in the house.
PWU. Is that spelled right? All right. PWU is unplugged, but there's only one U. I don't know. I couldn't write this if I tried.
But you did.
Actually, I had nothing to do with that one.
Oh, okay.
We do have some stuff announced for this show already.
We do
We'll start with the APP matches. Frankie Picard versus Cade. One of our trainers, Gabby Gilbert, will be facing Zenith. And then, currently announced on the PWU side of things, JP Grayson of the new Backseats will be taking on original Backseat Johnny Cashmere in one-on-one action.
Yeah. Wait for the preview show for us to just break this one down. What's going to be going on that match? Yeah, we're going
to talk about breaking down matches for the preview show.
Oh,
this is the match that's going to break all our backs, and that is Trent Acid's final student, Kid Legend, will be taking on Rick Blade, who is now the newly crowned PWU World Champion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, look at me disappointed again.
Yeah. No, I was disappointed in myself. Definitely disappointed in myself. I'm just going to say it. I'm not going to disappoint myself again. when we get to the preview show.
I'm not going to say what my prediction is, but I've told both you guys what I'm calling for this.
Yep. So we'll discuss all that when it gets closer to September 20th.
Yes. And then also announced musical performances by Velcro and Lavari.
Yeah. Lavari is Billboard topping dance artist, and Velcro, he is not a rapper. He is a rock star.
I just hope he doesn't try to wrestle.
Hey, I am here for whatever. Yeah, that popped up. I saw it.
So coming soon to a BJ and DG Talk Wrestling channel near you, our official review of the 2-day war between Game Changer Wrestling and Juggalo Championship Wrestling at the Gathering.
And what a war it was. We definitely need to figure out when we're going to be getting this together, if it's going to be live, if we're going to record it and just post it. But yeah, once we have it figured out, watch our Instagrams, watch our other socials. You'll know.
Well, Tara in the chat appears to be supporting JP.
Or maybe she's saying JP BS Cashmere.
Ooh, yeah, that's very up for debate there. That could go either direction.
Or Eric could have been JP versus Cashmere as well, and she just hit the wrong button.
I know.
There's that too.
I'm separate JP. All logic dictates that Tara is picking JP.
Yes. Yeah.
And while we're here, let me play this real quick when things will let me. They won't let you. No more, never again. Yeah, it won't let me scroll.
Scrolling.
Not scrolling's the problem, man.
Huh.
But I can still do it like this.
All right. Need some better scrolling music or something like that. Uh-oh, Tara going with the swerve.
Why isn't this?
We'll have to get her official word.
Whoa, my bad. I didn't realize that would happen when I did that. My bad.
Producer.
I will be. I'm going to refresh this because it's acting weird. You guys take over. Talk about whatever you want.
All right. Mark. So, BJ, I see you got a nice variety pack of double nickel beers there.
I do.
Why don't you walk us through what you have?
So right now I'm working on the session. This one is a 4.7% session IPA.
All right.
Hopped with Citra, Cascade, and Simcoe, 50 IBUs.
Okay.
I did a whole video live stream last night, and I did all of them. But I was hammered at the end of it. The Vienna, 5.3%.
Okay.
The Pilsner at 5.6.
Okay. All right.
IPA, very West Coast leaning at 8%.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's heavy.
And the big Belgian, the 8% Belgian.
Yeah, I'd be dead after that one.
I drank them all, and by the end of the stream, I was like, I got to go through this. Why can't I talk? It was bad. I got to rewatch that tonight.
Yeah. Hey, everyone, go give BJ a rewatch on that. It sounds like it's pretty damn entertaining.
Phrasing.
I was struggling by the end of it. I usually don't drink that much on streams, but I had 5 beers back to back.
Well, I mean, you were doing reviews, so what you gonna do?
I should have put more thought into that one. Anyway, thanks for wrestling.
So Monday night, Paul Heyman took shot in Philly at some of the ECW legends. Oh wait, I gotta mute real quick because I think this match just ended.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, yeah, there was one good line that came out of that. The late Tommy Dreamer. Yeah, I know he's still alive, but
that was great. Yeah. Whenever Paul's on the mic, it's always a good time.
Yeah. But I mean, there are moments where it's getting a little formulaic too. Like Paul's got a thing that he's doing, and I mean, he can switch it up more than most, and he keeps it more interesting than most. But it's still got that same energy to it, and it's like it doesn't matter who he's with. It's just kind of like it's the same, but
It's just such a
just
dynamic
different.
character of his. Like, yeah, it's the same. It boosts everyone the same as well. But like, just how like he could have all the confidence in the world and talk all the schmack he wants, and as soon as someone threatens him,
Yes.
Oh God! All right.
Classic heel.
Sorry to interrupt. So
No, you're
I'm
not.
guessing the baby faces won this match. Will Ospreay was doing a final bow before leaving for surgery.
Okay.
And Claudio, as he's leaving as Ospreay's going to leave the cage, just hit that flying European uppercut. They lock out the rest of the faces out the cage, and they are completely decimating Will Ospreay right now. It looks like Will Ospreay is also going out now for neck surgery.
Yep.
The Death Riders are just destroying him. Like they had the whole thing up to go off the air, and now they are still on the air. They bought themselves somehow another 5 minutes.
Are they too hard on their workers? Do you think?
Oh, the ops are now coming out.
I don't know that AEW is too hard on their workers. The workers might think they should be doing more than they actually need to do and go and take too big of risks. Okay, so something just happened there.
Will Ospreay's head was folded into a chair, and Moxley hit a curb stomp on it. And you saw the bend.
Okay.
Oh. F-bomb.
Yep. Yeah, he's out.
F-bomb.
What I'm saying was, are they too demanding of their workers? Like, and I guess, you know what I mean? You bring up an interesting point to somewhat answer that. Like, I think in AEW, it's more on the workers to determine things, and the workers are going to be like, yeah, let's do everything.
Right.
I think it's also they have that bit more freedom in structuring their matches.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's more on that.
Right.
Like I said, AEW gives you a big-time indie feel. Compared to WWE, which, as we were discussing before the show, which we'll discuss at some point here, is a very much more polished cookie-cutter product, which I have been saying for months that they need to do something. I've been saying it for 8 months now. And now everybody's just coming around and realizing it. The shows, and I'm not saying the shows are horrible. I'm just saying, as a fan, I know when I can look away and not pay attention to the show, and when I should look up and pay attention to the show. There's not and as the best example, Extreme Rules match, Braun Breaker, Jey Uso this week. Great match. What, the last 5 to 7 minutes of that match? What's the only thing we hear? They're not chanting for Braun Breaker.
OTC.
Yeah, they're not chanting. They're chanting for Roman because for the last month, at the end of every show, he's coming out. Half of those appearances, his shoes taken by the tribal thief.
Say his name. Cheers,
Clap, clap. Yeah. So, I mean, as I said earlier today, TKO's got a playbook. They've got their just routine. They say, okay, this works here, this works here, this works here. This is what you're going to do with that, and figure out your creative within that framework. Triple H, when he actually first started doing the booking and everything, it was fresh. It was something that was feeling different. It was something that was feeling more original to what we had with Vince that on the back end of his reign of terror. And it started feeling like it was trending in the right direction. And then TKO got their full hands in it. And like you said, DJ, the last 8 months or so, it's really felt like a grind sometimes just trying to watch the product.
As an example, and I used this before, if I went back and started looking at my notes just for the openings of Raw, you know what I'm going to see every time? Whether it's Seth Rollins or it's CM Punk or LA Knight, whoever you want to throw in there, they're coming out and starting the show with a promo. Like I said, I wouldn't mind just every once in a while, they go to start shooting, say, like, somebody's coming out to cut their promo. We'll say Seth Rollins, right? He comes out, his music hits, and they're standing at the top of the ramp. And the next thing you know, two people just come busting through them fighting, like Sheamus and Rusev. And they're just like, okay, we're just going to go back to the back and mind our own damn business.
Yeah, but something a little different.
Yeah, that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. You could do a quick match and then, okay, now we can get to this. Like Raw, they did it all. Wrestling does it all the time. AEW is very good for at least attempting to mix it up. How much people will crap on them? AEW is not a bad product. Neither is TNA. WWE is not the be all end all anymore.
No, it's just the biggest.
Especially with the idea that with this ESPN deal now, all of a sudden we went from the first PLE, just like the WWE network was WrestleMania. Now it's WrestlePalooza in less than a month on the ESPN.
Don't get me started on that stupid name.
Yeah, it sounds. I'm not going to say it sounds like something AEW would do, but it totally does. But
it sounds like something a 5-year-old would make up.
What? It's a palooza.
It used to start with Lala.
Here's what it sounds like: a WWE sponsored WrestleCon.
Yes.
Yes. That's what it sounds like, where it's like something like WrestleMania or something like that, where there's all this big stuff going on, but just a little bit, not as much hype behind it.
With live performances from Five Finger Death Punch, Kid Rock, and Jelly Roll.
And the ghost of Hulk Hogan. They're still airing the Real American Beer commercials, too.
Well, that's part owned by WWE.
Yeah, but they're still rolling the ones with the dead guy in them.
That's fine. That's fine. It's money.
It's just weird.
Weird. They gotta, get their money's worth out of what they pay for the advertisement.
And there are some things like on Raw this week that were good. I thought Becky Lynch and Natty was good. Like even Nikki Bella coming out, that was well done. We had the whole thing with Sheamus and Rusev finally getting set up for a Donnybrook match at Clash in Paris. Finally, we're moving this to pay-per-view. And as I've said the last couple weeks, I could watch them go at it every week just because of how hard-hitting and entertaining their matches are.
And they of Becky Lynch. So I saw a thing this week that compared her smiling to Art the Clown.
Yes. Which it should be Rhea more included in that. Because we've seen Rhea use some of those mannerisms.
Yeah, but it's just Becky's face was way more Art the Clown-like than Rhea's ever was. Art the Clown's the dude from Terrifier, for those who don't know.
Yeah. I always thought Becky looked like one of Mr. Rogers' puppets.
There was one thing from Raw.
I know exactly which one.
Yeah.
There was something I enjoyed from Raw this
Lady
week.
Elaine, right?
Yes.
And it was we get a backstage segment with CM Punk going up to Jey Uso or whatever, they're talking. And CM Punk calls the Vision Paw Patrol. Oh, that popped me. That got me. Not even playing.
Oh, what did I'll have to look at my notes from last week, but there was something else. I don't know if I mentioned it on air, just a funny little 1 second quip that cracked me up. Oh yeah, Miz called the machine guns the Motor City squirt guns. That got me that got me. It really shouldn't have, but I was cracking up.
Yeah. There's another team that I was really happy when they showed up, but they have seemed to have been wasted. The guns, like the machine guns. They came in hot. They won the championships after 3 matches, and now they've just kind of been relegated into the mix of everything. Just kind of,
They should have gone to Raw because there's too many good tag teams on SmackDown and not enough on Raw.
yeah.
And I'm hoping whenever they actually if they decide to announce one and actually do it, a draft where this can be, because no, there is something to say that's another issue. The shows seem almost kind of out of balance once you get out of the main event scene of both divisions.
No, TKO. These rosters stay the same forever.
Yeah, right.
We might switch one person over every 6 months.
Yeah, like Sami Zayn all of a sudden giving up world title aspirations to chase the United States title.
Yeah, man, real hero there.
But no, something does need to change, and it's across the board between WWE pricing or TKO, more or less, pricing out fans now. Like some of these prices of tickets for WrestlePalooza are absolutely ridiculous.
Tickets, it's going to cost me $100 a month just to watch everything.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I don't see the majority of fans following, at least with the ESPN app, unless there's other things on there that family or that father in that family will watch.
I'm going to be forced to watch lacrosse and cricket now just because I'm paying for it.
See, I do have DirecTV Stream already, so I get the ESPN app included for whatever reason. I got lucky. But yeah, I've been looking around on the ESPN app, and it's really lackluster right now. There's nothing on there that's been worth the stuff that I tried to watch. It still says oh, you're not authorized to watch that for whatever reason. The Fantasy Focus podcast I'm trying to watch for football because I got my fantasy draft next Sunday. So yeah, I don't know why I couldn't watch that, but that would have been one of those things I think would be available, but apparently not. So ESPN app, get your stuff together before September 20th.
Please.
And also before football season in general, because allegedly they're supposed to be getting NFL Network and the Red Zone. So, yeah, if I'm able to watch that there, if I'm able to figure that out, cool. If not, the app's useless.
And that's just my thing, you're expecting most wrestling fans, at least Peacock had the advantage of having TV shows. And eventually ESPN's interested in the back catalog content. Cool, that's great. That's going to be at least another incentive, but...
Wait a minute. Isn't ESPN owned by Disney?
Yes.
So if you get a Disney Plus subscription, that should cover ESPN, right?
No.
So the ESPN app is essentially for people who don't have cable. To be able... That's essentially what it's for.
Me. Great. Well, I don't want that.
But here's the other problem. With the app of the launch, there's only a handful of people that are going to have access to it automatically. I have Xfinity. I have access to ESPN, but I don't have access to the app because they have to renegotiate all these deals with the providers.
Yeah, well, I know what the answer is, and the answer is 3 letters, VPN. And I'm not condoning illegal activity, but hey, VPNs are legally available.
Yo ho, pirate's life for me.
There could be a Bay of Pirates somewhere that could become popular again before you know it.
Look at me.
Oh,
but I do think
out here,
and this is a trend that I've talked about for months that I've seen just trending up, and it's every time we get to another big show, prices are more outrageous. And we're not talking about WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, or Survivor Series. We're talking about a show you just came up with probably in the last 3 weeks to throw the hell together.
No bill.
Because now they're on ESPN and we need something as a big bang to kick off.
Yeah.
But you had already announced that that wasn't supposed to start till next year.
Yeah. But yeah, we don't know. They don't know what they're doing. We don't know what they're doing. Nobody
And we
knows
know
what they're doing anymore.
And we know the deal with There is a deal with Peacock still, because they're still going to get Saturday night's main event has now become exclusive to Peacock. It will no longer actually be broadcast on NBC as well. And they they still have the NXT PLEs currently. Those have not been discussed whatsoever in relation to the ESPN app, which I would expect them at some point to move over as well.
It's just so confusing what you have to watch where and what you have to watch what and when and why and how and who and God, why? No.
Watch the next year. They'll start a third show, but you have to have a Paramount subscription to watch that.
No, that won't happen because Paramount left ESPN or UFC left ESPN and went to Paramount, where it's going to be like the WWE Network and Peacock deal was. Your subscription will cover all their events, so you don't have to pay extra.
Or they'll have a package on Tubi, where you get all like.
And that's another thing that confuses me. So TKO, who owns both WWE and UFC, we'll do the WWE style deal with Paramount to have their shows on Paramount Plus and their events, but we're going to go to ESPN and basically make you have to rob a bank to watch us yearly.
That's why everybody should like, subscribe, share, tell all your friends, and give us money, please. Because we're to be able to afford. We can afford it right now. We can afford to watch all the wrestlings, but soon it's not going to be an option. We're going to need your money to do so.
This was when. Years ago, when the WWE Network became a thing, why it was
$9.99.
But I'm just saying, even the Peacock and everything moving over there, why it was such a big deal? Because hey, we left the pay-per-view era. We weren't getting overcharged no more. WWE was still making money off merch, and between all the advertising they're doing now, why do you have to? And I'm assuming it's not WWE making the price tag for the ESPN app.
Of course.
100%.
Yeah.
No. I think it's ESPN.
No, yeah. ESPN set their price for that. Disney set that price. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm assuming that is. And they're taking into account everything there. But you do realize that if you get all that WWE content, most of your subscribers are going to be wrestling fans, right? Like, I don't see, like, if I look at the percentages of it, it's either that or they're going to turn people into wrestling fans just because the content will be there to be watched.
I think that the most people that will subscribe to ESPN will be more NFL, NBA.
And I'm not talking
on that
about
side.
Yeah,
I don't feel like wrestling's going to be the big draw to bring people in. I think NFL is king. Is now for the foreseeable future. It's king. Yeah. That's going to be the draw to get people in. When they got the NFL Network and the Red Zone, that's going to be the draw. So wrestling's a sideshow.
I mean, taking that into account, yes. But at the same time, let's just look at it as, hey, how long does the NFL last? 22 weeks?
About 7-8 months, total, but from training camp till Super Bowl.
We're just saying regular season because of NFL. September to February. September to February.
But that's not the only time like people are going to be watching NFL content.
But hold on, but let's look at it like this: when does HBO do Hard Knocks leading up to the regular season? Because that's when people are actually paying attention to it again. So I don't even think people will justify keeping a year of that subscription for an entire year once the NFL season is.
Well, you still got NBA.
The NBA is going to be on other networks.
ESPN's going to have their own. They have their own NBA programming that'll keep people there.
But we're talking about stuff that I'll be able to just turn my TV on and not the app and watch.
We're also talking about people who don't have the cable and are just using the app, though.
So maybe for them, but as a whole, there's nothing year round that's going to keep every single person there besides wrestling fans, because wrestling has no off season. That's going to be the bulk of their views outside of people
Soccer.
watching ESPN or the talk shows in the morning.
I
Soccer
argue
doesn't
soccer.
even play all year round.
Yeah, they do.
And a lot
Throughout
of
the
soccer-
world. Yes. Throughout the world,
But
there are
here
leagues
in
going
America-
for soccer all year long.
Here in America, though, most of the international stuff is on USA. It's not even on ESPN unless it's Olympic or some type of international game. So it's very rare ESPN even gets that. So we're talking parts of baseball season and whatever, to where whoever doesn't watch every sport or pay attention to it might not keep it, as compared to a wrestling fan who's going to pay for it will keep it all year round, because guess what? 10 months we get PLE, and eventually they're going to be adding the other content if they get the backlog stuff.
I will say for myself, it's not often that I go and watch the backlog stuff. So that for me would not make it worth it to keep it. I would basically be buying it, spending $30 a month, and looking at that as a pay-per-view, PLE, pay-per-view, whatever expense you want to call it at this point, rather than spending $50 each time for a pay-per-view, but not as good as only spending $10 a month on the WWE Network, which was, we had something gold and we just lost it. If we could even get WWE Network back at $20 a month, I'm sure wrestling fans would be all over that instead of the ESPN app. Like, no question.
I would pay $25 a month for everything WWE. Everything included.
Again,
yeah,
you
the
put
full library.
Everything in one place like it is in the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because now that makes absolutely more sense. But here in America, we're the ones getting shafted for no reason.
We're getting shafted because there's no reason for them not to shaft us.
Yeah, because they can.
Yes. Yeah, they get more money by spreading it out around all over the place, because that's the way the system is broken down in this country, and it's stupid and it's anti-consumer, and it's where we are in this society.
Now, don't get it wrong. I will say safely, maybe 60% WWE fans, because a lot of them are family, who have kids and stuff and have dads that watch sports, will probably subscribe to it if they don't already
NFL,
get it per
NBA.
their TV subscriber. But at the same time, before they officially launched on there, they should have made sure that deals were done with other providers, because now it's such a small percentage. And ESPN was probably like, hey, let's try to drive people to the app now. Yeah, you're picking a bad time where we're all still have a sour taste in our mouth just from the announcement a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but they did say they have all these other ones that are coming allegedly by September 20th. So Xfinity and all whatever other ones are supposed to be there, they should all be there in the next couple weeks.
Now, on September 20th, we will be busy. We will be at live wrestling.
With real wrestling.
But this is another conversation to get brought up. WrestlePalooza is running up against All Out. They really, are they banking on people paying half the price to watch WrestlePalooza or watch one of AEW's biggest shows of the year?
See, I don't think that the people that are buying ESPN for any reason are necessarily going to be buying All Out. Like, there's there's a small part of the Venn diagram that crosses over there, but in general, there's a whole lot that does not cross over there. I think you're looking at maybe 1 or 2% that you're worrying about there.
But it's still putting because a lot of fans do watch it all. They do watch both, and because you see the criticism of it. So either you're watching clips of it or you're watching the actual shows. Either way, or some fans just watch the PLE. There are those fans that, hey, we'll catch the weekly clips and I'll just watch PLEs because that's what I'm more interested in. It's just getting the matches, the big matches. And that's fine as a wrestling fan. But even
let's say you are a poor sap who on September 20th does not have the ability to get to Mount Holly, New Jersey for an awesome wrestling show, and you are forced to decide between
Mark.
AEW and WWE that night. Most likely you're choosing WWE because you either have the ESPN app through your cable provider already, or you've bought it because NFL season has kicked off at that point already. Either way, it's not going to be an extra expense like the AEW pay-per-view is going to be any way you slice it. So, more likely you're going to be watching the WWE as opposed to AEW that night.
I mean, I would say there's a good chance of that, but at the same time, I also think with the sour taste in a lot of fans' mouths right now, and it's almost across the board of, hey, why are you doing this? Like, this is not right in any way, shape, or form, especially from what we're coming from. Now, if you gave some of us fans a deal like when the network ended, hey, for like the first 6 to 8 months or whatever, you're paying this price before it goes full price. All right, cool. I'll pay, say it's half off. I'll pay $15 a month for it and see if I like it or not, because it'll cover football season for me, and I can reevaluate going into WrestleMania if I'm going to keep it for the next couple months. But when it comes to the idea of running head to head, I think there's a lot of fans in their heads that will be so pissed at WWE doing this early. They'll spend the extra $30 just as an F-bomb word to WWE and a middle finger. Because these wrestling fans, especially in the IWC, love to try to prove their point.
Yeah, but then there's the whole contingent of just WWE fans that probably about 3 times as large as the contingent of people you're talking about.
And all right, and that's another thing. How many of those fans now might feel turned off from the product because of the deal and go to AEW?
They're not going to watch AEW at all. I don't think they care about AEW. They think AEW is whack.
I mean, I've seen plenty of chatter to where they're like, just due to the ESPN deal, they're like, hey, I'm not going to watch those. I want to, just like you did with Goldberg.
Yeah,
just
turn it off.
Yeah, that's the only way that they're going to get the point is when it hits the ratings, when people stop watching.
Yeah, just turn it off.
And I feel like TKO is pushing WWE in that direction, and it's going to be a bad turn like it was 15 years ago when they were the only people there. And even then, fans were only watching clips or, I'll throw it on just because I'm home. But now you're talking about paying for Netflix, paying for Peacock, paying for the ESPN network, having to figure out a way to watch CW if you want to watch NXT live and not on the CW app for free. So when it comes down to it, maybe fans will still watch NXT because it's free.
Maybe if you can get a CW over the air. So yeah.
Well, not even that. On the CW app, the next day it's up there to watch for free.
Okay.
So that it's just so many little factors that play in, and if TKO is going to continue doing this, hey, you're going to run that company into a roadblock regardless of how good the shows and the matches are, and that's a problem. Because that's the same thing that happened with AEW. All those injuries, but yet they were putting on halfway decent shows every week. Great matches. It's just like, hey, these aren't the talents we want to see. And the ones you should be elevating, you're just sitting there waiting to elevate them instead of doing it. If it wasn't for all those injuries, what would have happened to Swerve?
Yeah, he would just languish.
Swerve's in a great spot now, and he's taking time off to get surgery, and he'll be back better than ever. Will Ospreay, we might not see for another year.
Yeah. Well, neck surgery's no joke. Although, from what I understand, you can win a gold medal with a broken freaking neck.
Yes, that is also true. But just in the end, it's a lot of bad decisions, which I understand why, because TKO from the WWE purchase is in debt. And there's been rumors going around that, like, hey, by the end of this year, that should be done. Which means that they can make the money. The next thing we should see is, now that they're profiting, prices should drop. Somewhat.
And they will not. Prices will not drop. TKO is looking forward to that money coming in. They are not dropping the price.
See, people are paying this now. Why wouldn't they continue to pay?
Bingo.
You know, there's no reason for prices to drop.
That's capitalism, baby.
It's just to a point where I think the TKO company itself, is slowly going to turn fans off from WWE because now they're looking at it for what it is, and it has nothing to do with how the shows are being written, how the matches are being produced, or anything like that. It has to do with the greed and the fans proving their point that you have jumped the shark and did something to where, hey, you know what? You want to make some of that money back? Bring back house shows.
Yeah.
Bring back some untelevised. You don't have to bring it back to where it's full time. Bring back 6 to 7 months worth of house shows, 1 or 2 a week, if that.
And like, let these superstars earn their paychecks. Like, some of them are wrestling, like, they might have to walk out to the ring once a week and talk and walk out of the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, make them earn it. Like, put them on the house show circuit. You know,
I mean, let's not be wrong. They do other things. Some of these top guys, they're the ones making TV appearances. But I'm talking about like the mid card to lower card. Who could? It's like in AEW. We talk about how so many injuries happen because they don't have house shows. They don't get to go out there and consistently have the repetitions and the practice with these guys they're feuding with. You know, and we kind of see it in WWE now too, where certain things like, I will bring it up, SummerSlam, the Becky Lyra match. You know, and I stand by, outside of a couple things that did pull us all out of the moment. If I'm just looking at for what it is, it was a good match with bad spots planned in the match that could have been sorted out during house show matches where you could have done that spot, but like, oh, this might not be as good as an idea, or hey, you know, we have the zip ties. Maybe we shouldn't do the belly to belly. Maybe we should do another spot, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's plenty of other ways certain things like that play out. Or the idea of Jacob, they zoom in on him giving up his hand for the handcuff spot where they should have been zoomed out less. So we didn't obviously see it, and it looked more like a struggle. These minor things that get sorted out in those situations, to where NXT is running house shows all the time in Florida. Yeah. And we see how much that benefits them getting the reps. You know, and I'm not saying John Cena, Randy, or, you know, Seth Rollins have to appear at them all, you know, because we've seen where Intercontinental title matches can main event and you can put on a great show still. Or you have
like someone like Mello in house shows, that could be very beneficial for someone like on his level at this point.
And that's one thing I did originally say before ticket prices had skyrocketed. I was like, they've gotten a little bit more expensive because of the fact they had to make up the money from not doing house shows, which me as a fan is justifiable. I can accept paying $20 or $30 more a ticket, you know, but when you're turning around and charging for ringside the amount you could buy a brand new car or a house with, I don't care what
at least down payment. Yeah.
I don't care what comes with it. It's incredibly overpriced. And this isn't boxing. This isn't mixed martial arts. This is professional wrestling that was built around blue-collar workers and the middle and lower class to be able to have a form of entertainment that who couldn't afford to go to boxing. Or there was no boxing at that time, or in the 90s when mixed martial arts started, you know. There's just something to what they're doing is just absolutely wrong in the way they're seeing it. And without them, and it only takes 1 or 2 people on that board agreeing to do it to let something go in motion to be done. It doesn't have to be a board-wide vote. Because you would think somewhere along the way there has to be somebody sitting there thinking what us fans are thinking. Or seeing what us fans are saying somewhere. Right?
Bunch of millionaires in suits? No, I doubt it.
Yeah, I'm with you, BJ.
No. Yeah. Maybe not on the board, but somebody in the company that's like the assistants, whatever, who are in charge of. Hey, go on Reddit, go on Twitter, go on Instagram, go on Facebook. How are fans reacting to this? Oh, well, boss, they're not really reacting so good to it.
And then the boss comes back with, "Are we still making money? Yes. Hand over fist. Yes. Okay."
Yeah.
And I just don't understand how anybody in their own mind can justify the prices. Like, I would love to put on a Raw or something and see those front rows empty, but see the bowl full. Like, we're not paying for those tickets.
They
Yeah,
would
but
probably just usher everyone to the front row for the sake of TV. In
No,
that case,
yeah, but then at that point, now you're tarping off something else, and and it's going to look just as bad, and you're going to be cutting the camera angles. WWE, give it a year. I give it 12 months. That if their prices don't go down, things lower, we could be looking at them running either smaller arenas, or we start seeing areas tarped off like we did 10, 15 years ago.
right?
Because fans just stopped going and said, I'm not going to pay the money to go live. If I'm going to watch it, I'm just going to sit home and watch it.
I'm just picturing a completely empty ringside except for green shirt.
I'm okay with that. That's green shirt position. I'm okay with that. Because I think he gets his tickets for free at this point.
I was going to say, whatever he does to earn his money to buy those seats at every show, I don't want to know, because that's working way too hard for what I would ever want to do with my life.
Unless he just won a lawsuit.
Yeah. Okay, that maybe, sure. But I don't think that's it, though. I think he actually figured out how to earn money at some point. Looks like we've got DG frozen there.
It's
There
that might explain a lot here. Because I I closed the wrong window for notes. So let's go through some other things from SmackDown this week before we move on to NXT. I thought it was cool because they were in Ireland that they had Becky appear. I kind of wish they had Sheamus appear as well. At some point, just SmackDown's going on. Next thing you know, Sheamus and Rusev, like Peter Griffin and the Chicken, just come fighting through the arena. Let's see. Mello and Miz defeating the Motor City Machine Guns, which I feel like at the moment I can't wait for the Miz Mello feud. I think that's going to be a good feud to elevate Mello.
Yep.
We talked about Piper beating Charlotte. We kind of talked about John Cena and Logan Paul, which I think was the best segment of the week. If I'm just looking at segments in the general purpose.
Maybe.
I felt like that had the most impact of anything, because how much we might not be fans of Logan Paul per se, when he's on that mic, like he's getting the job done. He gets the job in the ring, and it takes a lot to sit there and be able to hold your own against somebody like John Cena. Because John Cena, we've never argued that he's bad on the mic. It's just he had to say the same things over and over again.
Yeah.
Just like The Rock did, just like Stone Cold did, just like Bret Hart and every other top babyface there's ever been in pro wrestling.
Yeah, well, Cena ran out of material. He said the one thing that is negative that might affect him, and that's that he's using the WWE to pimp out his energy drink or whatever it is.
I also did like the backstage segment after Logan Paul took the AA when they came back from commercial and he runs into Drew McIntyre. I kind of I'm starting to like that pairing a little bit, because if Drew McIntyre can bring out a bit of a meaner side and make Logan Paul stop talking as much shit and get more serious, I might be able to get onto Logan Paul moving to Raw and being a world champion.
And also,
short run, but to have it under his belt.
Also, I would definitely see if either of them would turn face, they would make a good feud.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. The Drew McIntyre promo on Cody, I thought that was pretty good. I love how he's like, you have no friends left in that locker room. Everybody hates you. Randy Orton disappears out of nowhere. It hits him with an RKO. Absolutely great. I'm looking forward to whenever that Drew Cody match happens. Probably WrestlePalooza. the great WWE Indie event coming soon to an ESPN app near you.
They really
Oh,
couldn't have thought
hold
of a
on.
better name than WrestlePalooza.
My favorite thing was Aleister Black was supposed to face R-Truth. And Aleister Black comes out to the ring, and all of a sudden R-Truth pops up on the Titantron, recording from what looks to be an airplane. His airplane.
Dublin,
He's
Georgia.
Like, I went to Dublin, Georgia instead of Dublin, Ireland. That's my bad, dog. But I found somebody else for you, and then we get Damian Priest's return, which I thought was good. I really think those two should have a casket match. I'm just saying.
Sure.
Both of them can carry that legacy of that match very well.
I like it. Also, I could see leading up to that maybe a First Blood match.
That, you know what? Another match type, since they weren't going to do it too often, if you're going to have one of them be the gatekeeper of, I would give Damian Priest the casket match, and I would give Aleister Black Hell in a Cell. That make it like kind of like their match type. Because Aleister Black, I just feel like fits the Hell in the Cell better. You know, but both of you could probably swap it, and it would still be just as good between them two. You know, like if they were to become for their match type, you know, because how much because Undertaker had the advantage of saying, "Hey, my match types, Hell in a Cell and the casket match," and just it transitioned from casket to Hell in a Cell, thanks to throwing Mick Foley off and through the cell.
Yep,
I thought,
almost at the same time.
Jade and Tiffy versus Nia and Becky was good too. I didn't think that was a bad match by any means. But as we have both talked about, the both main roster shows they're not becoming sluggish. They're just becoming too predictable, as in the order things will happen, not necessarily predictability in the matches, you know? Because in the end, I will still say weekly shows are just 2 hour to 2.5 hour long commercials to sell you on the PLEs or pay-per-views, whatever company you're watching at any given time. Because that's where the money's made in the end. You know, you use the weekly shows to sell merch.
Yeah, the problem with Raw being on Netflix now is that you have to pay for said commercial to watch for the commercial for the PLE, which you have to then buy on another thing, which is now a commercial for buying another thing. Where does it stop?
You know, again, we need a bit more variety in our wrestling, as in the way the shows are scripted. I don't mind. Like, I really don't mind starting with a promo every week. I just wish it always wasn't a face-off. You know, or it's, hey, this guy's out there. They said what they said, and they leave. Like, all right, so now you're going to play this throughout the night for what? To where you could have resolved this in added another 3-4 minutes, resolved the entire thing, and we get to the main event, you know, like this week with Breakker and Uso.
Yeah, it's because replays are easy. You just have the video queued up, and hey, there's another 5 minutes of content we don't have to worry about for the show.
But yeah, you know what? Let's talk some NXT. We have Heatwave starting in about 45 minutes.
Yeah, we should probably make some predictions on that.
Yep. I will pull up my list now of the matches.
All right.
One, there we go.
Yeah, I found my notebook. Hey, look at that.
All right. Well, we'll start with this week's show. And this week kicked off with a Philadelphia street fight as they were in Philly at the Met, I believe.
Okay.
And Josh Briggs versus Inamura. And that was a good street fight. I didn't catch who Ricky Saints beat, but that was a decent match. We had the Jordan Grace Blake Monroe segment, which set up their match tonight, which could be the first match we talk about. Jordan Grace versus Blake Monroe, formerly known as Mariah May in AEW.
Okay. So Both competitors are very compelling for basically the opposite reasons. Jordan
Yeah.
Grace, total powerhouse. She is a badass. She will beat you through the ground. Uh, Blake Monroe is the vixen. She is the one who will use her brains more so than her brawn. So this is definitely going to be a match of styles, a clash of styles here. And personally, I don't see how Blake Monroe overcomes Jordan Grace's power here. I mean, I know she's smart, I know she's good at her thing, but I'm still picking Jordan Grace.
Okay. Um. Uh. I have Jordan Grace as well because I feel like Jordan Grace needs to win more, especially as the babyface at the moment. She's kind of been behind the 8 ball in this entire feud so far. So I just feel like she needs to pick up the win.
What about you, BJ?
I haven't seen any of the build up, so I'm kind of oblivious to what's going on. But I'm going to go Blake Monroe.
I
All
was just
right.
going to say flip a coin.
He's going counter to us because someone has to.
All right. Let's see. Go back to my notes. Which for some reason clicked back to Raw. Don't know why. Here we are.
And there we
So, because my list is all out of the weird thing. So let's talk about next the TNA Knockout Championship match.
Okay.
JC Jane defending against Ash by Elegance and Masha Slamovich from TNA. I picked JC Jane to retain. My reason being is I think if the titles are going to go back, it'll happen at Bound for Glory, on TNA's biggest show of the year. So that's pretty much my logic there.
All right. What do you think, BJ?
That makes sense. Also, on paper, I would definitely, or not on paper, but I would definitely say it's not time yet, regardless, for the belt to change hands. And yeah, I'm going to say Jay-Z.
Much as I would like to see Masha come away to win here, especially after seeing her in person and seeing just how vicious she can be in person in the ring there, even going against guys. Yeah, I don't feel like she's going to be able to get the job done. I feel like Ash is going to do something that's going to screw both her and Masha over at some point, and JC Jane keeps her belt just by happenstance and luck. So we
I
are
mean,
in agreement.
it is also a triple threat.
Yeah.
So, and the
So yeah,
pick'em
fatal
thing,
influence is right there the whole time.
yeah. So
Well,
I mean, we could also see some knockouts get involved in this match. Like, let's not get that wrong. It seems like TNA wants their championships back, and we've slowly started seeing some of those guys and ladies uniting just to do
Sure.
that.
Yeah, but I think we all agree this is not the time when that happens.
All right. So I don't know what 2 members of Dark State will be in this match, but for the NXT Tag Team Championship, Hank and Take defending against Dark State. I think Dark State. I would love. I think Dark State's going to win, but I'm picking Hank and Tank to retain.
Okay.
Just because I think there's a bigger story for them, and you could kind of play this out a little bit more as Dark State still chasing, because they're involved in so many different things right now. What I think would be interesting is you split them up at the group into 2 tag teams. One beats the Hardys and maybe one beats Hank and Tank, and they have both sets of tag team titles under Freebird rules. That would be interesting. But no, I think Hank and Tank barely retain. But I do think they do, because there's other members of the NXT roster tired of Dark State's shenanigans, and on the TNA side as well. So we could see something along those lines.
BJ, who are you picking in this matchup here?
This is a tough one. I'm going to say Dark State, and I'm going to say it's Saquon and Cutler.
Funny enough, the pick'em thing I did, one of the question was who gets pinned in the match, and I picked Saquon Sugars to take the pinfall in the match. So
I think it's going to be Saquon and Cutler.
Okay. All right. I am the tiebreaker here, and I too am taking Dark State to take the belts here. I am not sure which members it's going to be. I don't think it matters which members it's going to be. I don't even know all the members' names of Dark State. So any two interchangeable members of Dark State will take the belts off of Hank and Tank because I feel that although Hank and Tank have had a good run, I think it's run its course. I think like they're a good tag team. They're not anything beyond an NXT tag team. If they want to have them together for a little bit while longer, have them in that tag division, cool. But I see eventually those two guys got to break up. So, and I think, get the belts off them now makes sense. Put the belts on Dark State. They just can run rampant and terrorize the division as champions.
I don't see Hank and Take splitting because they haven't really teased that yet, but there's still a little bit of time they could lose the titles and that could lead to it. But I think if they split up, they both also go into obscurity.
Yeah, right now it's kind of heavy machinery. Like, I feel like they're going to stay together regardless and maybe get called up eventually as Hank and Tank.
Okay.
I mean, also with that, I see them. They remind me a lot of like Public Enemy type tag team. They could be a team that's one of those teams out there that are just fun. You know, like I enjoy their matches and they're not bad together as a team. It's just
they're entertaining.
Next, we have a number one contenders match, which I believe is for the NXT Women's Championship. A triple threat match. Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan, and Lola Vice.
Okay.
I don't have Kalani Jordan winning it. I could see Jada winning it, but I'm going with Lola Vice. She was just at AAA recently. They've been putting, I feel like, a bit more of a push toward her recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like she's the next one in line.
Okay. See, I feel that way about Jada Parker. I feel like she's been getting the push lately. That's why I'm picking her. I feel like Jada Parker's time has come up. I feel like she's the one that it's time for her to get the push up, get going, get that momentum. And I see Jada Parker actually as NXT Women's Champion at some point.
Yeah, so I see both of them with championship gold at one point. At some point. And like between those, that's my pick was between them two and was essentially a coin flip.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think I have the same coin flip as you. I think I'm just straight up picking Jada Parker in this matchup out of all three of these women. So what about you, BJ? Parker, Jordan, or Vice?
Lola. Lola.
All right. Lola.
And then we have Chelsea Green and Ethan Page versus Tyra May Steele and Tavion Heights in a mixed tag team match. Which I enjoyed their segment on SmackDown on NXT this week. It was a real anything with Ethan Page and Chelsea Green seems like the last couple of weeks has been good. And it's a good pairing temporarily, especially with them both individually being as good as they are. And just real quick to step back, because we talked about the women's title match. Fatal Influence and the Elegance brand with Masha as the special rep this week on NXT was a really good 6-woman tag.
Okay. All right, so you're picking the Canadians there, DG?
No, I'm picking Tyra May Steele and Tavion Heights.
Oh, okay.
I'm picking Team USA over Team Canada.
All right. Well, I am picking Canada. I like this teaming of Chelsea and Ethan Page. I think that, you need to recognize the land of maple syrup there. And, good friends from the north that we really need to pay more attention to. And,
Hey,
He'll-
I do recognize them. I was the one supporting Chelsea Green to become United States champion. All right.
All right. What about you, BJ? USA or Canada?
I'm going to go Chelsea and Ethan.
All
You know,
right.
on the legacy of great names like Petey Williams and Eric Young with Team Canada.
Petey Williams.
Get some Lance Storm energy going there.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Good stuff.
And then we have our main event, which before we talk about that, I really want to talk about that Trick Williams Javon Evans match from NXT this week because
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, because holy crap, was that a match, especially the spot where Javon's going to do a move from the apron and jump off the rope, kind of like the phenomenal elbow, whatever move he was going to do. And Trick Williams just gets up and launches him into the announce table out of the air. Like, I was sitting here looking at the screen and I saw what was starting to happen out the corner of my eye. And as I looked, he is in the air flying and barely hits that announce table.
Yeah, he almost cleared that. BJ, you're being asked if that double nickel's any good.
Oh yeah, excellent stuff. Again, I did a live stream last night. I reviewed the whole pack. It got pretty sloppy toward the end, but all of the lower ABV stuff, the Session, the Vienna, as well as the Pilsner, are all excellent.
Sorry, there was never a notification on my thing showing that there was stuff going on in the chat. We actually did cover some of Forbidden Door because it was going when we went live for the main event. Yep, and we are talking Heatwave now. Let's see. Team Canada's going to get the win for sure.
And we've addressed the double nickels.
We're caught up.
Yeah, and okay, we are caught up. That is my
we're
bad,
back.
dog. I was in a different chat. My bad, dog. I flew to the wrong chat. But yeah, Javon Evans ends up beating Trick Williams, which now he has beaten the current TNA World Champion. Just saying, he should also get a shot at that title by wrestling rules. You pin the champion in a non-title match, you get a shot at that title. But that's another conversation for another time because with Javon Evans' win, he gets to go on tonight and face Oba Femi for the NXT Championship.
Yeah, all right. Your bouncy boy versus the big man.
I got Oba Femi retaining, but I definitely think that Javon Evans is going to put up the fight of his life, and it's a contrast of power versus speed.
What about you, BJ?
Yeah, I don't see it going any other way. Like, it's not Oba's time. Javon is not the one right now. Definitely Oba.
3-way on that one. Agreed.
So Javon's definitely going to win.
Yes. Rick Blade style.
Whatever we all agree.
Yeah, that seemed to become a thing, huh?
Yeah, sure has.
Yeah, on paper, Oba wins, obviously, but you never know what can go down during the course of a match.
Yes. In theory, he should win, but we don't live in theory.
Well, I don't want to live in Austin Theory. That's weird, dude.
Why would you go there?
He's injured anyway.
You said you talked about living in theory. Gee,
I wasn't talking about him. That's just weird.
Lives in Austin.
Yeah, that's just weird. Why would you want to live in Austin? All right, so that's it for Heatwave. We've got that covered. We'll be back next week with our predictions review for that, I guess.
That was all the matches.
That was 6 matches there. Is there one that we missed?
No, there is not. But, since the show has ended, we could kind of go over it, I guess, and talk about some of the results tonight.
Forbidden Fruit. I mean, Door.
Yeah.
Oh, World Oh, no.
Yeah. Today's Vince's birthday. Well, on that
he didn't
note,
wish me happy birthday, so I don't care about his.
Wow. So Vince's birthday. Hold on. So Bray Wyatt passed away on Vince McMahon's birthday.
Oh, that's not a coincidence. Vince had him off as a birthday present.
But yeah, Forbidden Door, good show. Paragon, El Desperado, and Yuya Uemura defeats Crew, Pichero, and Josh Alexander, Hichuo, however you say his name, from the Callis family. Gates of Agony and Ricochet defeated Jet Speed and Michael Oku. Triangle of Madness and Megan Bain defeat Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron, and Queen Aminata, which part of that spilled into the main show.
Okay.
Later on. The Ops retained the AEW Trios Championships against the Bullet Club War Dogs.
Bullet Club War Dogs, eh?
Yep. A subgroup of the Bullet Club.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, you guys do, and most of the UK and fans across the world, it's gotten to the point where American fans have started mimicking those chants and stuff here in America.
Yeah,
which sometimes I wish they wouldn't. And
yeah,
just like the
exactly where I was going.
Just like the "This is awesome" or "Oh shit" chants.
It's overblown. Yeah, American fans do not need to sing the soccer chants.
No. Christian Cage and Adam Copeland in their first match, teaming up in God knows how long, defeated Kip Sabian and Killswitch.
I would have been worried if they didn't.
Yeah.
And why is he still going by Killswitch if it's not Christian's
because
group
it's better than Luchasaurus?
Yeah, because it's better than Luchasaurus.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
Luchasaurus is at least fun.
Yeah, but he's not a fun character no more without being with Jack Perry.
Yeah, but was he really fun with Jack Perry?
Yes, he actually was. And speaking of Jack Perry, where the hell has he been? Jeez. He dropped the TNT title and just disappeared.
He
get run over by a van or something.
He's repairing windshields.
Yeah.
Well, they are real glass, damn it.
Crime a river.
And then for the TNT Championship, Kyle Fletcher successfully defends against Takahashi.
Okay.
For the TBS Championship, Mercedes Moné successfully defends against Alex Windsor, Persephone, and Bozilla. Good night, TDS. Have a good night. Yes,
Bozilla.
Yes.
That's a name.
And which I think was probably one of the better matches of the night for the IWGP World Championships. Zack Sabre Jr. retains against Nigel McGuinness.
As expected, fully, because why is Nigel still even bothering?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because there was two British guys in London having a match, and Nigel McGuinness can still go. I have no problem. Hey, I have no problem. They can find the right spot for him and put him in the right opportunity to look good. There's no reason why they shouldn't, because it was Zack Sabre coming in. So I highly doubt whoever he faced on that roster, he was still retaining.
Well, yeah.
I want to see Nigel McGuinness versus Wade Barrett.
Announcer versus announcer.
Pat McAfee as the referee. And I'm
God.
in. Just because. Just because.
Why? Why did you have to add McAfee in there?
Oh,
And we
fuck.
put Goldberg on commentary. Just because you want. Let's see. And a surprise for the AEW Tag Team Championships after interference from Ricochet and the Gates of Agony, taking out the Hurt Syndicate. Brodito pins FTR to become the new AEW World Tag Team Champions.
Wow.
Who?
Brody Lee and
I
Bandito.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I heard Brodito. I'm like, what? Does that Taco Bell need to have a new item?
Matt Riddle and Bandito?
Oh, God. I mean, it's not a bad tag team, but wow, that's a bad name.
Well, it's just a mashup of their names. Like,
I know, but still, it's bad. There's some names you shouldn't mash together, and that's two of them.
Let's see.
Would
For
you
the
prefer-
Unified Championship, Okada successfully
sure, maybe.
retains against Swerve Strickland, which after the match, they go to Okada takes out Swerve's knee with it between the steps in the ring post and a steel chair, and then Nana comes out to make the save with a steel pipe, which just brought the return of Wardlow. And Wardlow takes out Nana, takes out security, and then joins the Callis family.
because they need more members.
Oh, hey, they do need more gold. They could go for that trios championship. Yeah, you know, they got some big men that could definitely dominate that division.
And then Tony Storm successfully retains against Athena, which was another really good match. That was actually highly entertaining.
I could see that probably have been the match of the night between those two.
And then Hangman Adam Page successfully defends his championship in a match where if he was counted out or disqualified, would lose the championship. And also, MJF didn't have to officially cash in his guaranteed title shot, so he still has that, but did not get the job done against Page.
Yeah, really good false finish there with the ref actually counting 3, but Page's foot being on the rope and the ref not signaling for the bell to be rung.
Yeah, there was a ref bump right there at some point, you know, and that he woke up from and started counting the 3. Like then he counts the 3, but then when he gets up, MJF's trying to get him up to ring the bell. He's like, no, I saw his foot on the rope. You know, so he saw it during the count. They acknowledge it. I'm perfectly fine with it because it's a case of, oh, I was counting the 3 as he's hit. Oh, I saw his foot on the rope. The count's waved off.
Yep. Hey,
and
foot's on the rope. It's a non-count.
Yeah. And then
Respect
in
the
the main event, lights out cage match, the Golden Lovers, Darby Allin, Tanahashi, and Will Ospreay defeat the Death Riders, Young Bucks, and Gabe Kidd in what was a heck of a match for what I was able to see while doing this. And I'm gonna have to go back and watch that match. But that was after the match, Will Ospreay gets attacked, taken out. We knew that he wasn't supposedly cleared for the match and that he was going to have neck surgery. So he's also been written off now to go have surgery. And as we just talked about not long ago, that he could be gone up to a year, maybe longer. Hopefully it all goes well. And we see Will Ospreay back in a ring sooner than later. Which, speaking of neck injuries, Kevin Owens was at the Daytona race last night, and he got to go around in the pit car and stuff, and also was the official person to say start your engines.
Cool.
So that was a cool moment.
Nice.
Forbidden Door overall good show. Glad it didn't go like 7, 8 hours.
Can we just mention the Young Bucks entrance names, Slick Nick and Mr. Instant Replay?
I mean, we also got to talk about Collision last night, Rod and Todd, all right?
That could be some of what the best thing that they're doing on AEW right now is just messing with their names now that they're no longer EVPs. Yeah, because there's only one true EVP.
But yeah, we had a good week in wrestling, so I guess from some of us, others not so much. But
yeah,
from what everybody did see, what was your match of the week?
That's a damn good question. I'm not sure I have one.
Honestly, MJF and Paige.
That's. I was going to save those for next week.
Oh, did that miss the cutoff?
Yeah.
Because the event was still going on when we started.
Yeah.
Not that bad stuff.
So next week, BJ's match of the week: MJF and Hangman Adam Page.
There's a chance something that by then, but
it's an early placeholder.
I'm gonna have to put the thinking hat back on then.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we need to think too hard.
For me, it's Trick Williams and Javon Evans from NXT.
All right. Yeah. I'm not sure there was a match that really held my attention enough this week to be considered a match of the week for me. Like, I keep thinking of match of the week that I might have seen. And I keep going back to the GCW 2-day war from last weekend and how every match we saw there was better than anything I saw this week. So, yeah, my meter is broken currently. I need to recalibrate.
Well, and some other wrestling news. Last night, Karrion Kross and Scarlett debut in GCW and helps Shotzi Blackheart defeat Matt Cardona.
That's awesome. Yes, that is something I'm interested in seeing right there. All of that, please. Yes, thank you.
Gonna go Black Priest.
Black Priest?
Okay. And other stuff, just real quick to get it out since we're getting near the end of the show. Don't forget to subscribe to Wyatt Wrestling Club, Instagram, and YouTube. We also have, going through stuff. Oh, yeah. This is right here. Hey, you want to learn pro wrestling? And there's going to be a show at this school September 20th.
Yes. Yes, full DG crew in attendance.
Just some of the matches. Frankie Picard versus Cade. One of our trainers, Gabby Gilbert, taking on Zenith. The Battle of the Backseat. JP Grayson versus Johnny Cashmere. And then for the PWU Championship, Rick Blade defending against Trent Athens, final student, Kid Legend. Plus, musical performances by Velcro and Billboard artist Lavari.
Can't wait for that show. Just under a month to go.
And hold on, what else do I have here? Oh, yeah, we can't forget Wrestle Realm. But yeah, anything we are looking forward to this week as we are getting ready to go watch Heatwave.
I am looking forward to seeing something innovative in wrestling this week, hopefully. I want to see something fun.
Seeing something that surprises me. Seeing something that I never in a million years would have seen coming. Just something.
Give me something. Yes.
Yeah, I guess I gotta be in agreement with that.
Yep.
Oh, also, gotta play this real quick.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. 'Cause when you wish upon a star, your dreams come true.
R.I.P. Tommy. I know he's not dead, but you know.
Was that a reference to Paul Heyman's?
Yes, it was.
Oh God, that promo was something else. Especially considering that if you're in the know about ECW and a lot of that history, that he also took a shot at Todd Gordon.
Yeah.
So,
and if you know what happened with ECW behind the scenes, you know that was an undeserved shot. Yeah, the shot should have been going the other direction.
Yeah. But on that note, I don't think we really have anything else for this week.
I think that's it. I think we've shot our whole self in the foot.
Oh yeah. Also,
Eddie, I'll be home early this week.
keep a lookout for the official review of the 2-Day War at the Gathering. Will be coming soon. I've started getting all the footage together
with the 100% real Kane choking DG.
Hey! I am a danger ginger for a reason. But
With
everybody,
real Kane.
Yep. But everybody, have a good week. Be good to each other. Help somebody in need if you can. And, we will see you next week for another episode of BJ and DG Talk Wrestling.
Everybody watching, I'm going to need you to visit www.freakkings.com. Check out all the merch. And before you do that, I'm going to need you to check out BJDG YouTube and Instagram. And while you're doing that, you won't have to remember the name, because you'll remember the face.